Have you ever wanted to play as a yellow-haired barbarian type who wields a massive fiery axe and can also unleash powerful magic attacks? If the answer is yes, then the Astyanax, or the Lord of King in Japan, is the game for you. The title in question is a 2D hack-and-slash action-adventure game, created by Japanese developer Acom and released to arcades by Jaleco in 1989. Thanks to the good folks at Hamster, the game is now available to purchase as part of their Arcade Archives line. A line, incidentally, that now includes 240 arcade titles, which if you ask me, is absolutely amazing. The real question is though, is the game any good? Stick around as we take a deep dive into the world of the Astyanax. Hamster has put together a nice little package that includes the Japanese and international versions of the game, alongside caravan and high score modes. The former challenges players to score as many points as possible within 5 minutes without using saves. With the latter, players play through the game with only 1 credit and without using saves. What thin plot there is revolves around the standard good versus evil dichotomy. According to a translation of the Japanese flyer as well, the hero's name is Roche. The big bad is a wizard called Argos, and the castle he holds in thrall is called Algerine. Amazingly, the game itself doesn't tell you any of this. Gameplay-wise, Roche controls in 8 ways using either the D-pad or the left stick. He can jump using the B button and swing the fire axe using the Y button. Roche can even use magic. Pressing the A button unleashes a lightning force attack that devastates all enemies in the way. Along the way, he can also collect pink jewels to replenish health and shields which are useful for blocking enemy attacks, although they break when hit a few times. The damage the fire axe deals is controlled by the power bar in the bottom left of the screen. Charging it up completely deals the most damage and makes the axe live up to its fiery name. There seems to be collision detection on all sides of the axe head. This means that if an enemy tries to hit you from above or behind you, chances are that you will hit it, as long as you're swinging the axe in the opposite direction. This is very cool, although it doesn't seem to work on enemies that are directly behind you. Roche can also engage in a spot of platforming, like here in stage 1 for example. In terms of music, each of the 6 stages boasts a different but equally memorable rocking score. The end of level bosses also have their own musical cues, and these complement the action well. Just listen to this example from stage 2. And the sound effects? Well, functional at best and don't detract from their overall experience. My favourite part of the Astyanax, however, might just be the graphics. The sprites are nicely detailed and big. The monster designs are generally very well done, with the boss creatures being a particular standout. The stage 2 boss is my personal favourite due to its connection to 1974's The Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Plus, you get a cool kill screen when you defeat a boss. In general, there's a decent variety of enemies to chop through, from bats and skeletons to humanoid-looking frogs and gargoyles, to annoying bowmen and even more annoying bone armadillo-looking things. Some are taken from world mythologies, such as the Cyclops in stage 5. Others are seemingly borrowed from Konami's seminal Castlevania series, such as the red skeletons in this stage. Speaking of which, the stages themselves are quite varied, if a little linear, from dark forests, to caverns, to lakes, castles and beyond. Of course, the prerequisite elevator level is here as well. The stages are also not too big in terms of size and don't outstay their welcome. And just to be thorough, I also played a little bit of the 1990 NES version, but I'm certainly not an expert on it. It features a high school student called Bash, who's sucked into a medieval fantasy land and becomes a buff, armor-clad warrior, and the chosen one to free said land of evil. First impressions are that the game looks significantly different to its arcade counterpart, and is quite difficult. I mean, it is an NES game after all. Overall, I enjoyed my time with the Astyanax. The controls are tight and responsive when it comes to the fighting, but I'm not sure that the jumping mechanics are that suited for platforming, so these sections were a bit frustrating for me, although thankfully very short-lived. There is also a bit of slowdown in stage 3 when the screen is full of enemies, but that's a minor gripe. The game itself is on the fair side for an 80s arcade game. It took me 7 to 8 credits and around 20-25 minutes to fully beat it, and I'm not some kind of wizard in this regard. I also played through both the Japanese and international versions of the game and didn't spot any major differences between them. The only impression I got was that the international version was slightly harder, but that's it. The overall Arcade Archives package, which collects several versions of the game and brings together a couple of extra bells and whistles, is decent too, and worth picking up whenever it goes on sale on the Nintendo eShop.